Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to uncover the hidden stories within corporate filings. And boy, do we have a juicy one today. It seems our subject has been busy making some significant changes behind the scenes. Today we're diving into an 8K filing from Pharma Incorporated. Now, an 8K is like a company's official diary for major events that happen between their regularly scheduled reports. So think of this as an urgent update that Pharma needs to share with everyone. And trust me, there is quite a bit to unpack. Before we jump in, if you like getting these kinds of straightforward breakdowns of corporate news, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description below where we chat more about these companies. So, what is the big news from Pharma? It looks like their shareholders were busy at their annual meeting on the 24th of October 2025. They voted on several important proposals, and the results are quite telling. First off, let's talk about some changes in their incentive plans. Pharma shareholders gave the green light to an amendment to their 2020 Omnibus Equity Incentive Plan. What does that really mean? Well, it means they're increasing the number of shares of common stock that can be issued under this plan. They're boosting it from 470,000 shares all the way up to 140,000 shares. Think of it this way, they are making more company stock available for employees and executives as part of their compensation or as rewards for good performance. This often signals a company that wants to attract and retain talent and may believe its stock price will go up. Now, let's get to the heart of the annual meeting. This is where the shareholders really got to have their say. A total of over 5 million shares were represented, which constitutes a quorum, meaning enough people were there to make the votes count. First on the agenda was the re-election of directors. Eric Weisblum, Wayne Lindsley, Kevin Munoz, and Jeff Pavel were all re-elected to the board. Looking at the numbers, they all received a significant number of 4 votes, with Eric Weisblum getting 1768924 votes in favour. There were also some withhold votes, which essentially means shareholders wanted to express dissatisfaction, or simply abstain from voting for a particular nominee. The broker non-votes, which are shares that the broker holds but did not receive voting instructions for, were quite high, at 3280416 for each nominee. This is something close watchers of corporate governance would keep an eye on. Next up was the ratification of Salberg & Company, Pennsylvania, as their independent registered public accounting firm for the rest of 2025. This is pretty standard. It is basically shareholders approving who is going to check the company's books. The vote here was overwhelmingly in favour, with 4985330 votes for ratification. This suggests shareholders trust the firm they've chosen to audit their financial statements. Now things get more interesting. Shareholders approved what is called a reverse stock split proposal. What this means is the company can decide to consolidate its existing shares into fewer, proportionally more valuable shares. For example, they can turn 10 old shares into 1 new share. The ratio can be anywhere from 1 for -2 to 1 for -20. The board has the discretion to decide if and when to do this, and at what ratio up until the 24th of October 2026. This is often done to artificially increase the stock price, per share perhaps to meet stock exchange listing requirements or to make the stock appear more substantial to investors. The vote on this was pretty split, with 3896499 votes for and 12533, 32 votes against. This indicates a significant portion of shareholders had reservations about this move. Then they approved the planned amendment we talked about earlier, which increases the shares available under their equity incentive plan. This vote was also fairly divided, with 1343678 votes for and 514,675 against. Again, a notable number of shareholders voted against this, suggesting some level of disagreement on how the company is managing its equity. Finally, shareholders approved an adjournment proposal. This basically gives the board the power to postpone or adjourn the meeting if they don't have enough votes to pass certain proposals. This is a way to buy more time to gather additional support or proxies. The vote was largely in favour, with 4016834 votes for. Looking at the exhibits, the most significant document being filed is the first amendment to the Pharma, Incorporated amended and restated 2020 Omnibus Equity Incentive Plan. This is the document formalizing the increase in shares for the incentive plan. Now, let's put on our investor hat and look at the bigger picture here. The approval of the reverse stock split proposal is a key point. While it can be a tool to boost a stock price, it doesn't fundamentally change the value of the company. It is an administrative change. Shareholders approving this, but with a significant number voting against it, tells us there might be some underlying concerns about the company's current market valuation or its future prospects. Are they trying to make the stock look better to attract investors without addressing the core issues? That is the question investors will be asking the increased equity incentive plan, while Standard for Growth also shows a reliance on stock-based compensation, which can dilute existing shareholders if not managed carefully. The mixed voting results on this too signal some shareholder skepticism. Overall, Silo Pharma is making moves that could shape its future stock performance. The reverse stock split, if enacted, will be a closely watched event. Will it lead to sustained price appreciation? Or will it be a cosmetic fix? The jury is still out, but the shareholder vote suggests that while the board is moving forward with its plans, there is a segment of their investors who are watching very closely and perhaps even with some trepidation. Alright, that is our breakdown of Silo Pharma's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for more conversations. Thanks for watching. See you next time.